I'm sorry, but I'm sorry I'm like this. The nice thing is now these just these are like, yeah, we'll do all the things now. I can level up all this stuff from the beginning. Well, I didn't even pay attention to what area I completed, I'll be honest. Technically, it should be in the collections dialogue. I'll go look at it in a minute. I don't think it's tracking correctly, though. Oh, honesty. Oh, that didn't say. Okay, collections dialogue. Campaigns. Grand Tour. 772. 772. Off of E10 favor. Could have kept going. Didn't really see a reason to. I mean, when you go from E10 to E30, like, what's your reason for sticking around? Nothing. Nothing. Really. So, oh, and that means I can come over here, and I can go. See, I would just like to do it at this point. All right, boom. I'm gonna buy all of these, and all of these, and all of these. Thank you. Distractions drop more gold. They don't care about their gold, and not anymore. It'll help when we're in a new campaign and crawling along, I guess. There are all events with 2,500 more event tokens. Yay! It doesn't really matter as much anymore. There we go. All blessings. All blessed. We're hashtag all blessed in Sword Coast now. All right. I really do think I can take the warning off. And I'm just going to buy these. Just to say I'm all done and sort, because we're not going back to Tomb for a while. So next up will be, after we get through Barovia, we'll head back to Waterdeep. And one more deep push there should get us everything. All of this. So we're doing real well, I feel. I feel like this is really good for, I think the progress. So in terms of like how far we're able to push and the favor we're getting, I think is real good. Our progress through the main campaign feels a little slow. Not gonna lie, but we're getting patrons, like we're getting all the other progress. So I don't know. Oh yeah. So when you're talking about multipliers, just turn it into the X version. Yeah. Onyx, that's the only way I can do it. Yeah. At some point, like the next pass on the next full, like just sit down and review every champion guide will be. We'll have a focus on clarifying spec choices and the math behind them. Oh man, I have no speed potions now. And now we're on the grind. Now I'm not buying gold chests. Much as I hate it. We're saving up. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go turn Wait, if I turn Lathander's favor into like Torm, it's not that big of a deal. We already just did this. This wouldn't give me that much. That is really where it should go. Yeah, it's gonna go to home. I'm gonna go to home. Go to Helm! You favor, you Lathander's favor. Hey, Thalo. Now we're just, we just got the slow grind of grabbing, which, I mean, these aren't super deep. 150 isn't that bad, but we've already got more than enough click damage, so I'm literally just waiting for it to finish now. I've already decided where this time gate's going to go. It's going to go to Egbert. Egbert's the slot 7. I need a slot 7, and they're a good, dirty gold find champion. Arcade jumps. That'll help too. I don't even. Why am I leveling up champions? I don't need to. It's not gonna make me go faster. Stop it, Garland. Stop clicking. Just can't. Can't stop. Won't stop. You know what we can do? Now is a good time to prep guides. No, it's the time. Okay, event champion template with an item bonus copy with a side item bonus copy posted. There's that. And we're gonna save this as event champions year 7 Diana. Diana, Princess of Themysciros. Wait. That's not right. Monk. I keep forgetting what they made. I keep wanting to say acrobat. It's monk. Monk. Is the minimum number of tadpoles you can have in a party for it to be giving real benefit? 2. 2's, I mean, real benefit is the multiplicatively stacking goes into effect, and that needs 2 tadpoles. Now, beyond that, subjectivity jumps in. Beyond that, subjectivity, right? Because all you're talking about is like, when can I get the bonus? When can I activate the bonus of this multiplicatively stacking thing? And it's with 2, right? You just need 2 stacks. Doesn't work on 1 stack. You got to have 2 multiplying against each other. The more you get over that is great, obviously. But then you're like, subjectively, how good is it? I don't know. Like, you have to decide at that, But any multiplicatively stacking ability doesn't turn on until it has 2 stacks, right? we talk about her now? Yeah, her blog dropped on Friday, Thalon. Hey, King Salome. So she's gonna be good with what? Yeah, Diana's got very specific groupings. Dex 15 plus, total ability score 78 or less, or champions 20 years old or younger. Mm-hmm. Oh, good. Mm-hmm. Oh. Oh no, Tron, Hannah, what'd you do? Where's the blog post? Even Spurt Daddy counts as a member. Just well, if as long as he's in, you mean in Spurt in spirit form, he's still there. He's there, so yes, he would count. Yeah, I think Truman had tried to post a link and they didn't have VIP, maybe. Yeah, I don't see them on the VIP list. They'll be. It's only we're only timed out for 10 seconds. They should be back soon. Oh, yeah. Like we're 2/3 of the way through this adventure. Let's remember to do that beforehand. I was 88 chosen as the number of channel points. Just 8. I like the number 8, so it worked. And it seemed to be like an amount that made sense for like a special, like a limited thing you might do. Nice, Onyx. J-Dog, I mean, I don't know. Technically, probably, but that would require me having to do that, and like with the names and everything, and then that's I don't wanna, because I got to do all the VIP things manually. Break coming in soon. $230. Nice. Okay, there we go. Hail hydrate. The Great Modron March. Yeah. Dang it. That's not. That's not what I was looking for. This one. That's better. The Mechanical Menace is the name of the event base adventure, right? That's what I want to do. This would be 250. Champion adventure information. Oh, that's too old. Oh, I finished. Hey. Hey, we're there. Look, we made our way up to the mists of Ravenloft. Right. Oh, somebody cast darkness. What else can champions scavenge? I mean, lots of things, I would think. Time gate pieces would be interesting. Scales would be interesting. Corrupted gems could be a thing. I don't think they do green gems. We already have ways to earn those. That doesn't mean I'm right. I'm just saying. I don't think they would. They might. Well, it's the proper way to say it, Thalo, because they're talking about the Saturday Morning Squad as a group, regardless of how many people are in it. And when you're talking about a group, you would use the word they. Right? So Saturday Morning Squad now is their powerful acrobat in the party. It's true because as an affiliation, their powerful acrobat is in the party. The rest of the party isn't there yet, but as far as the affiliation goes, it's a valid state. And where are we going? We're going to like area 200 now? Yeah. Any silvers? Give me a speed potion. Damn you. Damn you, Hardy. Yeah. Lightniscus. Thanks for hanging out. I don't think they would consume. I don't think you would have them scavenge anything you can buy with green gems. Is my statement. I don't think that makes sense. You already get a bajillion green gems. So anything that comes out of regular chests, probably I don't think you'd ever scavenge. That's just my opinion, though. Other than to unlock Strahd, should someone sit on their silver chest or just open them as they get them? If Rathmore, if I'm coming up on an evergreen unlock, if I'm about to unlock an evergreen, I want 25 silvers, 25 to 30, because that's gonna get me that champion in green or better gear. So like I look at it that way, but yeah, outside of that, it's whatever comes up that you might need them for. Otherwise, just use them right away. But yeah, Strahd would be an example. The bigger issue with Strahd is getting the hold on, let me copy something. It's getting the Modron or the medium bounty contracts. It's getting the medium bounty contract. That's done. It's okay. So Diana's is done. Diana's is done. All right. All right. Diana's guide is prepped now. Ready for Wednesday. Oh, I should add a couple. I should add some things. Put that in some places. Adding some notes. Welcome everybody from the in-game pop-up. We are working. We're trying to get through Barovia for Towering. I'm trying to complete Towering Expectations to prep for Patron Strahd on my new account. But today we did a deep run. We finished a deep run in Patron Vajra to be able to get her. Well, we finished a Patron variant, but it ended up being also a gold find run. And then we did a deep run in Sword Coast because we hadn't done one since we unlocked Drizzt. We went from E10 favor in Sword Coast to E30, so we're good now. We're good now for a while. Got all my blessings now. Maciel, that's that potion thing. There's been a bug with potion timers for a while. Just enjoy it, I guess. Yes. Hey, Belswin. And in the background, I'm working off camera. I'm working on prepping Diana's event guide, or champion guide, I should say. Diana is a member of the Saturday Morning Squad. She's arriving on Wednesday, along with a reworked Gromma, and reworked Gromma looks nice. Nice. Got some notes in. Done with that. You know what I need to do? Someone mentioned I never put the Dark Urge's legendary effects in. I got to do that because I never unlock those right when I get the champion. It's always on the tutorial show when I get the gear. Update that, and oh, and I guess I could put a time gate priority. I'd say they're average on my rating system. Oh, I can't even do this. I can't even do this right now because I don't have my main account open. Whoop, never mind. Never mind. All right. What are we up to in quick damage? At 199. Hey, guess what? We only got to get to area 200. I'm glad we had some leftover Briv stacks. Briv stacks are like pizza. Whenever you've got leftovers, it's great. It's great. It's not as good as when it's like, you know, oh god, I just got lots of Briv stacks. But you know, take what you can get sometimes, right? Yeah, look, they just did the thing with the Catty Bree skin, just like, hey, 80s cartoon Catty Bree. She was not in it, but it's just a skin style they decided to try with. Did I mess around anymore with Will and Gromma and G? Why would I use Gromma? I know I have not messed around at all with Will on my main account. I haven't at all. I don't have time to play it. Like when I'm playing it, I'm like doing my trial lately, or I'm gem farming to prepare for the future, and yeah, most of my gameplay is on this account now. Do I have more advanced notice on the new champion than usual? I thought you started. Well, no, I do. I usually prep the guide when the blog comes out. I make the guide. I fill in all the actual info, like all the values, the varying values based off upgrades and stuff on Wednesday. But I prep it with everything that I can get from the champion spotlight the moment that drops. Is it better seat 5 for a new player, Keelik or Yvandra? It depends on who your primary DPS is, because Yvandra only buffs neutral DPS. Neutral on the good and evil axis. So if that ain't it, then you want Keelik. Is Valentine coming in the Great Modron March? No. You can Althris, you can see who's coming up. Keep teaching people this. Great Modron March, click on it. Evelyn, Keelik, Krydle, Jaheira, Mahan, Nordum, Nixie, and Yvandra. Plus Diana as the new champion and Gromma as the reworked champion. What did I trigger over here? Oh. Okay, Tomb Blessings. Oh, Grand Tour, and just collect all. Yeah. So you can always look in game at whatever the next event is. I don't think you can move. I don't think you can look multiple events ahead, but the next one will tell you. When will we get a new Evergreen? I don't know. The next Evergreen I would assume, presume. Let's say presume. I would presume the next Evergreen would be in Turn of Fortune's Wheel, since that's the only campaign we don't have one in, and they haven't dropped a new campaign yet. And dropping a new campaign and giving us an Evergreen in the newest campaign would be weird. So, Turn of Fortune's Wheel, at some point, we just got to, what? Didn't we just get part 5? It doesn't say here. I think it says it in the blog post. So it depends, like, it needs to be off a variant, so I would assume it would need to be with a variant push. And now that we're halfway through, there's the possibility that it could drop with any variant push. But we have no idea. They don't tell us that in advance. Because once upon a time, back in my day, they're like, hey, we got this great new champion coming. Hey, we're gonna add this champion to the game, and then they didn't. And then they announced another. Hey, Dragonbait's gonna be an evergreen, and then they're like, oh, hey, guess what? Like a month later, okay, Ikoria is gonna be an evergreen, and then they gave us Ikoria before they ever gave us Dragonbait. So they don't announce evergreens in advance anymore. Because we made fun of them for a very long time. Speaking of Dark Order's legendary effects, do you know if his evil slot still boosts him while he's spec good? I have no idea. We don't have an incoming buffs tab, so like for generic stuff like that. So until we get that, I won't know. But time gate pieces are like pizza? They're only shaped like pizza. There's a difference. Lediath says, in my opinion, Valentine is the best Seat 5 champion for new players. How does it feel to be wrong, Lediath? How does it feel to be wrong? I don't know. Sorry, it's Monday. It's Monday, and we've had a good day of song references, and now I'm just going to rip on people's opinions. Why not? I don't. Obviously my opinion is Briv, but yet another super gamer. What hero is the fastest basic attack speed? I don't know. I can tell you that Ishii always attacks faster than anyone else in the party, but I mean, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I guess here's the thing. Here's some general information. It doesn't really matter because there's ways to boost attack speed in this game to get them to their animation cap, which is the fastest someone can attack. Is basically how long is the animation going to take? And attack speed doesn't really mean anything. It isn't like in some games, the faster you attack, the like you do significantly more damage. No, this is not in this game. So it's not as big a deal. Where it comes in handy is when you're trying to kill bosses like this, but there's other ways to do that quickly too. So yeah, that wouldn't be information I would keep in my brain because it's not really important. No, Valentine is not available in the upcoming event. Where did people get this? Yeah, if you picked up Evandra and Jaheira. Jaheira's a neutral DPS, and her dips don't lie. She's a solid DPS. She's also a good support champion. She's a good combo champion. But the thing is you know, she's in slot 9, and like if you're working towards split the party or something, Diana's in slot 9 too. So I don't know. There's always lots of things to keep in mind. I don't understand. Yeah, Lediath, I don't understand why. I don't understand why Justin thinks that raising the soft cap would make it easier to get favor and wheel. It's not a lack of power that's stopping us from getting favor. So unless the soft cap is adding a major favor boost to gold find major gold boost to gold find champions, then raising the soft cap means nothing. That's I don't know where he gets this idea. I would love to hear an explanation. Honestly, you know what? Hold on. I'm gonna ask. That's my Dev Insights question this week. Justin, last week you made an offhand comment that you about feeling like favor would be easier to earn in Fortune's Wheel after a soft cap increase. What is it about the way Idle Champions works that would make you feel? No, that's rude. that's me being yeah. That was me being passive aggressive. Maybe a little too much. Since the problem with earning favor in Fortunes, I'm just going to call it FW, and FW is solely the gold find scaling on enemies as you go up levels, and has nothing to do with how far you can push. Why is it that you think this solves the problem? Why do you think that this would make things easier? Yeah. And we should get an answer out of that. That either is he thinks that we just can't push very far and doesn't understand that we can push to 2001 and the favor still sucks. I don't know. Yeah, we'll find out, I guess. Clearly in a mood today. Clearly. What does evergreen mean anyway? So if you think of it like trees... So sorry, Witch Noir, but this is true. If you think of it like trees, an evergreen is a tree that stays green year-round. Well, an evergreen champion is a champion that you can unlock all the time. You don't have to wait for an event or a time gate. They are champions that are... Then that's the difference. Is there are event champions, they add event champions, and they add evergreen champions. So evergreens are champions like Hitch, and you get Hitch by signing up for the newsletter at any time. You can get nerds from the shop. Once you got 500, or once you got 100,000 gems, you could buy nerds. Don't. You can get Dritz and all these other campaign champions at any time from the campaign. Once you get there, you can earn them. You're not gated by having to do an event or a time gate to get them. And so they got coined. The name that they got coined, the term was coined as evergreen, because it's a year round. It's available. Blame Chris Dupuis. The devs didn't even like that term, but but Chris started using it and it stuck. So I am riding Briv and crawling into the sunset, Lediath. Exactly. It's the old ways. Look at it. Look, it works. I'm doing it right now. I'm doing it right now. So here's the thing. You guys, you Lediath and Bayushi Akira, you're both judging Briv based off his speed functionality, it feels like. And that's not why I picked Briv up early, and why I think Briv is the first champion that you get in slot 5. It's his tanking. Early on, having a at any point in the game, having an extremely survivable tank is a big deal. And there are a lot of people that just don't think that. They're just like, well, just get enough damage and you don't have to tank. And they're wrong. They're wrong. I hate to break it to them. But if you're just doing power and you're able to survive by one-shotting everything, you're overpowering things. You don't need that. You can find a more balanced situation, and Briv provides that, in my opinion. So I throw item levels on him, yeah, because I get a little bit of a speed boost, but I only get him I want him around 50% of the time, and the rest is, hey, he's super survivable. Which is how we just went to 772 in Sword Coast, and I could have gone. We could have broke 800. Who knows how far we could have gone. Alphys, we've answered this repeatedly now. Keelik or Avandra for seat 5? It depends. It depends. And I said the difference is, do you have, if you're going with a neutral DPS, you could go with Avandra. And you want a tank. Otherwise, you go Keelik. Depends. The answers aren't always, it's always X. It's usually it depends. Hey, Drothonis. Are you sure it was soft cap and not area cap? I don't even think the area, honestly, Max, it was, I think he said soft cap. But even if they raise the area cap, let's say they raise the area cap from 2001 to 2501, because that's probably where it would go. The gold find isn't a curve there, it's a plateau, so it wouldn't help much either. I don't feel like it would. Unless the gold find does this, and then when they boost the area cap, they're like, woo! Like, then it takes off. But that'd be ridiculous. That'd be ridiculous. Again, I've had conversations about Fortune's Wheel, and it was basically like they thought it would make it more difficult, and I've explained to them that it didn't make it more difficult. It made it more frustrating, and there's a difference. There's a difference between difficult and frustrating. Difficult is it's harder to kill things. Frustrating is I can kill things, but I can't buy blessings. Like, and with the rest of the pay, with the damage you can get in this game, like with the power you can get just on your account by the time you get to turn to Fortune's Wheel, if you're getting legendaries and that kind of stuff, you can complete every adventure that they've put out so far. You just can't buy the blessings, and that's just frustrating. That's not difficult. All right, question. If 3 parties up, is getting 4 per seat to unlock the 4th party a priority in terms of what heroes to unlock? It's something you want to keep in mind, but it isn't as much of a priority as getting as getting your 3rd party was, because what the big thing wasn't the 3rd party. The big thing was the fast core. The fast core, I think, is the best core and should be prioritized. Best core early on. Of the unlockable split the parties and even the strong core, because the core that you get from the 4th party is the magic core, and I personally think it's garbage. It can give you a lot of damage, but it has no survivability, so you fall over when you're not killing things. And as I just said, I don't think the game. There's people who want to play the game that way, and that's fine. But the game is easier when you don't play it that way. So why make it hard on yourself? So I mean, if you can make decisions, if you don't have any other reason to pick a champion in the next event, like to flex, and the only thing you can think of is, well, it'll give me the 4th champion for split the party 3, then you go with that one. Yeah. Are there any new evergreen champions that are unlockable available after Ikoria from the camp? What do you mean new? Like, did you leave for a while, Gunak? Oh, we're on an ad break. Let me finish this when we get back from the ad break. And now we have a timer up there for the ad breaks. For the ad breaks. Man, I've been waiting. My Amazon delivery got delayed. Wah. First world problems. No. I think the weather delayed it. The weather's been hot garbage. It says out for delivery. Okay. It's the best I'm going to get off of it. Guessing. I'm also waiting for that Aaron M. Evans book, but I don't know when they're allowed to deliver that. Oddly, I got an email from I think I pre-ordered it from Barnes and Noble like a year ago, and the funniest part was they sent me an email and it was like, we've shipped this, but your payment didn't go through, so you should really pay us soon. And I'm like, but you shipped it already. It's mine. You won't be able to pre-order any more books. Look, I gave you. Look, I put my payment information in a year ago. It's not my fault you didn't actually take the payment. And there's no way. I was clicking all the things they were telling me to click. It couldn't pay it. All right, let me go back to this. Gunak, I'm gonna change this. Are there any evergreen champions that are available after Ulcoria? Yes. Yes. Icewind Dale has Xeraphon. Wild Beyond the Witchlight has Blushi, and the Light of Xerixis has Crux. Commodore Crux. So there are more evergreens. And at some point, Turn of Fortune's Wheel will have something. Look, we did the Mists of Ravenloft, but there's no more adventures, Garwar. What happened? Down here. They put a little box down here. Now we're in Barovia. Getting entangled in family. Crazy? Are we in Barovia or the Deep South? I don't know. Alright. Give me all the... There we go. You get the speed effects and then the gold find. Gold find to go in. Get Penelopes. Stacks building. That was backwards, but all right, we gotta go how far? 200 again? Give this much a favor. Yeah, and I don't look for Althris. You're like, what priority to get the Flex champions? I don't know. At some point, you gotta determine this. They're not necessarily OP, and you've got to make decisions based off like what you need. Like you brand new account, then look at split the party. Like what bench seats you need. That's what I'm doing on my account. Out of the available Flex champions from the next event, from the upcoming event, I just need Kreidel now. I thought I was going to need Kreidel, Mehen, and Nordum, but then because Mehen and Nordum were in 3 and 9, but then they reworked Gromma, who's in 3, and then the new champion Diana is in 9. So I only need to pick up Kreidel. I don't know who I'm going to pick up after that. I'll have to figure that out when I get closer. But then you also have to make decisions about like, what do I need for patrons? I don't need any of these for split the party, but who might I need for patrons? There's lots of decisions to be made. Ravenous, I need someone for seat 11 to split the party 1. How close are you to Dragonbait? They don't necessarily need to synergize super well with your... I mean, the Dark Urge would synergize with the Absolute Adversaries if you wanted to time gate the Dark Urge. But they're only a DPS champion. You'd then become a Dark Urge only player, right? Or DPS. But if you look at 11, Dragonbait comes from Tomb of Annihilation. You can put in some time and get that. Otherwise, I would rather time gate Strongheart. He's just a really strong champion. It's a really strong champion. For seat 11. Mycroft. Wow, I actually got a piece I needed from Modron chest today. Liar. That never happens. Congrats. Dark Urge was not in the Steam pack. And you only have to ask a question once, folks. If you're new to the channel, I'm backed up in chat. I'm answering them, and it takes me a while to catch up in chat. I'm a new player. I'm playing for 2 weeks now, and the older guides are only up to Old Korea for new Evergreen champions. No, that's not true. My new player reference stops at Olkoria because that's the last early game. No, it doesn't. You're in an outdated guide, and there should be a link at the top to a modern guide. If there's not, I don't know what to tell you. You need to maybe somebody put this in chat already. Here's my new player reference. I have all of the guides for Evergreens. But my new player reference actually goes through Rhea, who's after... I forgot about Rhea. Rhea's in Baldur's Gate. She's after Olkoria, too. And my new player reference goes through Rhea, for sure. So I don't know if you're in a super old guide. Man, I almost want to know. If you're in a super old guide that doesn't have Rhea in it, and it doesn't have a link at the top, a statement at the top that says this guide is no longer being updated, go to this link to a new guide, then I need to know. Because I did that. I did that with all my guides. You got to go to the modern stuff. Gonna come repossess the book? That'd be hilarious. It's not Xenomorph, it's Zerophon. Zerophon. Okay. Zerophon is a doppelganger. Didn't here do automated Briv gem farming? Yes. What trigger champion? I don't know what the term trigger is. There's a gas and a break. And there's like a trigger. By trigger, do you mean like the one that, like a dragon bait that boosts damage? Like there's a you need an enraged champ. I need to know what you mean by that, because there's different things. Unfortunately, the guide doesn't mention Rhea. What? Oh, it doesn't. Okay. It just says Olkoria. But it tells you Trials of Mount Tiamat, Icewind Dale, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. It's because once you unlock Trials of Mount Tiamat, you're done with the early game. You're not a new player anymore. And you're in the mid game. You're in the mid game now. So to me, that guide ends at that point. But then there's a link to all of reference material, all of my guides. Literally a link to all of the other guides. And on that guide page, if you scroll down under Evergreen, Guides to Obtaining Evergreen Champions, past Olkoria, there's Rhea, Nerd, Zerophon, Belushi, and Commodore Crux. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'll ever put Rhea in there. It's just not, you're not early game anymore at that point. I should change it to, well, no, I can't change the name now. I was gonna say to early game reference, but Rage champion. Okay, Dragon Bait. It's not about when Briv has enough stacks, though. I want to be very clear. Dragon Bait triggers his bonus based on an enrage stack, like enrage happening with the 100 enemies on the screen. It's up to you to figure out when the reset happens. Shandy is usually something. Well, not everybody uses Shandy. I use Shandy. Shandy also has a bonus for 100 enemies. Well, I mean, getting Rhea, by the time you finish Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus and start accessing trials, you should have the roster to unlock Rhea immediately. It's just, to me, the second you open trials, to me that's my line of you're not in the early game anymore. You're now in the mid game, and a new player guide doesn't. The new player reference isn't meant to be a mid game reference. It's just meant to get you moving through and hopefully understanding why am I saying do this in this order. Also, that whole guide's changing. Events 2.0. I've got a rework sitting here in a document based off this playthrough, and a lot of stuff is changing about the new player reference. It's worth farming favor past the point of maxing all the blessings, and you're not struggling with the variants. I mean, eventually, yes, but early on, no. That's why, look, I got E30 now in Torms for Sword Coast. I'm not doing another deep favor run here for a long time, maybe ever, on this account, because I won't play this account forever. Kelemvor's favor, E28. I won't do another deep run there ever. Helm's favor, will do one more deep run. But you're eventually going to need high favor levels in your campaigns, specifically for leveling up legendary effects. So it's like on my main account, I've got, anywhere from the E70s to the E90s. There's also an argument wherever you're farming favor, or whatever you're farming gems, you know, now with the Laura, you want to ramp that through the roof, because it just makes the Laura more efficient, which makes your gem farm more efficient, which means you just scale ridiculously. I mean, early game. My definition of early game and mid game, like that line between the early game and the mid game, is you're fully, like, you can have a foot in the mid game and a foot in the early game, but both feet in the mid game is you unlock Trials of Mount Tiamat. So I'm looking at where do I have both feet in the mid game? Well, yeah, but you're rushing through, and I'm not actually. So that doesn't. I don't. People can rush through, but if you rush through, you get what you get. Hydrated. Yeah, that's the thing, is like early on you get what you can get, and then you move on, and then you're going to come back later with so much more power that it like I just did. I had E10 favor in Sword Coast, and back when I was in Sword Coast, it would have been very difficult for me to get more than that. But then I just went back, and then I walked out with E30 in one run. My issue with like trying to rush is like, so the last time I did a new player account, I focused on speed, like speed champions, which meant I was rushing through adventures. I made that part feel great. I raced through the early game with that because I was completing adventures so quickly. I got through I did get through Avernus. I even unlocked Rhea with that. But then I went to Icewind Dale, and when I tried Xeraphon, I was like 200 and something areas away from unlocking him when I hit my wall. You just, yeah, eventually you're going to slam into some kind of wall. And I don't think that feels fun. So I think what I'm doing is a more balanced approach. I get some speed, I get some power. I can progress through things. I have yet to hit a place where I'm like, well, I just outside of the tiers of events where you should get walled, you should get stopped hard. I haven't found a place in like the campaigns where it's like, well, I just can't do this now. And that's, to me, that's a good way to play through the early game, and not have someone bounce off the game, right? Everheim, I've unlocked 52 champions and 4 patrons. Nice. All epic on core evergreens. Nice, but fairly low item levels on event champions. Should go next for Split the Party 3 or Trials or Trials or Avernus. Avernus is how you get Trials. So, I mean, I would just, I would keep playing through the campaigns. Playing through the storyline of Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus is how you unlock Trials. And yeah, that's a big thing. You should, but you can do all of those things you just said at the same time. As you're getting champions, you can go for Split the Party 3, right? Like, these are not, it's not an either or. You don't have to give up one for the other. You just don't necessarily need to be in a rush to get the champions for Split the Party 3. So... yeah, I mean, if you're in Trials, King Salome, that's, yeah, you're now in the mid game. You've had a foot there for a while. If you've got that kind of power, you're now fully ready to start plowing through the mid game. It's about 26 gems a minute. About 3 weeks since starting. I don't know, Althras. I don't track that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't track gems that like into that kind of detail. I can tell you, I mean, I get what I get when we're going now. We're up to 2,000, but again, I'm looking when I'm pushing. I'm getting at this point in the game. I'm getting these rewards. That's when I'm really gaining gems. Whatever speed champions I have are doing their speed thing. I'm dumping item levels into Human right now, trying to get his their speed effect faster. Excuse me, every time. Their speed effect faster. But I'm not early on. Like, your gems per hour isn't a thing that matters. It's about like, are you completing content quickly because you get gem rewards from it, or it's the gems per hour thing is only once you've just decided, well, I'm going to start tweaking a specific gem farm formation that sits with automation in a place like Mad Wizard free play. Then you're trying to fine tune how quick, like, what is your gems per hour ratio, and it's usually bags per hour or bosses per hour is what you're talking about instead of gems, because the gems can vary. And I don't know that anybody goes down to the minute. What does EGS stand for? Epic Game Store. So if you see up at the top there, EGS creator code, that's the Epic Game Store creator code, which means I am an official content creator on the Epic Game Store. And if you use my name, which is my code, when you buy something on Epic, there's a little box for it when you're checking out. Then I get a percentage of that. So you don't pay more. The studio doesn't get less. It comes out of Epic's side. So. Just a way to support content creators. just by doing things you normally be doing, which would be like buying stuff on Epic. Hey, Zoldan. What's killing me right now is I don't have any speed potions, and I've committed to saving my gems because speed feet. I want the path is clear. I want the mini Shandy effect on Human. I already saved up and got the carefully balanced 40%, and it did make things quicker. So I want that other one now. It will pay for itself once I get it. I will earn gems faster, and but it's just I did, but I'm saving my Electrums. Oh, we've got some silvers. I'm saving my Electrums for Wednesday with the new champions. I'm gonna have to gear up 3 new champions. Dang it! Why couldn't that have been a speed potion? Yep. So many others. So many others. Blobs, I just started trials. Cool. Did a deep run in my first game. I got E27 favor. Well, your first run isn't about the favor you get, it's about the damage you did. So on your first day in trials, you want to set the highest bud value that you can, so damage value. And usually, like, so if you were at soft cap when you got E27 favor, then maybe you were at your highest damage value, but maybe not. If you didn't soft cap, then not, and maybe you have to do a second run. Because it's about getting like a number like this, but consistently, because it basically takes every time you hit for E90, like if I'm using this example, it's adding that value to itself. So the higher you can get it, the better. And in your first trial, if you're in a normal trials, your damage, your bud, hopefully is somewhere between E180 and E200 or higher. It should be E180 or higher. So if you didn't set that value, then you need to do another deep run. On the subsequent days, day 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, if you go all the way through 7, yeah, you just have to get the area completion goal and then leave. And then leave. You're waiting on Split the Party 2 for Jarlaxle? I would do that too. You need the gold. You need the gold find from Jarlaxle to split the party. I don't have a speed or gold formation. Which should I do it first? I don't know what you mean there. I mean, you kind of like what I'm doing here. This is a combination speed and gold find party. It's just who I have. When I can pick up speed champions, I choose to pick up speed champions. Like I picked up Sentry out of a time gate because speed champion. But next champion I'm getting is going to be slot 7. And I'm going to pick up a gold find champion in Eggbird. Because mainly because I need slot 7 for Split the Party 2, and there is no speed champion there that isn't Minsk. That isn't Minsk. King Salame, usually when you get a new event champion, what you want to do is open up the named silvers, but well, you would want to start with Electrums, any event champion. And event champions are what you get out of time gates. You start with Electrum chests. You can, okay, super ultra efficient. Open 1 named gold chest. Then open Electrum chests until until you're out of Electrums or she's at green or better gear. Then open to the named silvers, then open the rest of the golds. But usually you don't want to open the rest of the golds until she's at green or better. It's just more efficient that way. But if you open the golds first, that's fine. Now you open open the named silvers and open I would open Electrums first. Usually it's Electrums, named silvers, named golds. But there is a real hacky way to open one gold first. Hopefully you get lucky and you get multiple solid items, and then it takes less Electrums. If you're low on Electrums. If you're low on Electrums, you can do that. But if not, just use lots of Electrums. Alright, Onyx, thanks for hanging out. We just got a feat for Astarion and an ordinary gold chest. I didn't realize it could change stuff for event champions. Regular gold chests are the only place you can get gold chest feats. It shows you this. Like down here, regular gold chest, regular gold chest, regular gold chest. So feats, that's where feats come from. Regular gold chests, or you buy them with gems. But that's why usually I'm not spending gems on feats unless it's a speed feat. A 12-5 speed feat early on. Otherwise, I'm just buying gold chests and opening them. Because I might get, not only might I get a feat, which rare, it's 1 in 25 chance, but no pity timer. But I can also get potions that way. Whereas if I'm saving up like I'm doing now, I'm just stagnating on the vine. I need to just be opening gold chests. I really do. I need I need 10 medium bounty contracts, which is just unrealistic, but I need them for Strahd. How did you gear Shayna with all blues if you time gated her? Electrums. This is why I tell people there is an efficient way to open up your chests to get you to full blue. And it starts with Electrums. But Electrums have a chance to drop everything up to blue. That's why Shandy's got greens, or Sentry's got greens. She's going to get to blue just off of Electrums. I got the same problem over here. Havilar got 2 greens, 2 blues, 2 purples somehow. She'll get blues on her own off Electrums too. I just got really lucky on Havilar's chest and got some natural epics instead of pity timers. Are there medium bounty contracts in Electrums? Oh, there are, or are there? I don't think so. I don't know. I'm not gonna open up these though. I don't need them right now. I just need to start stocking up 10. I should have started earlier, but I screwed that up. I should add that to the thing too. One of the things I'm changing about the new player references, I'm adding not just a milestone section, but there's milestone and then there's a planning ahead section. It's not necessarily a milestone, but it's things you need to be keeping your thoughts on and working towards that are separate from the milestones of Evergreen Champions. One of those is going to be, hey, start saving up some medium bounties because you're going to need them for Strahd. You're going to need them for... Oh, there's a gold chest. Oh, and there's a feat. We were just talking. Oh. This is the ultimate streamer luck. The only thing I didn't get here, I mean, that potion could have been a speed potion and the gear could have been a shiny. But look, I got an epic. I got Virulent Strain for Krull. This is the 40 stack feat. This is the one people hunt for forever that really makes Krull take off. And then I got an epic potion. And while it's on an ad break, I'm just going to leave it here. Oh boy. Folks, if you're just coming back from an ad break, gold chest drop from a boss, and I got the feat that you want. Krull's Virulent Strain, increased toxicity. Now my Krull just turned on fully. We now have a fully armed and operational Death Star in Krull. Good lord. Good lord. Yeah, man, I wish we'd had that earlier for that run, but oh well. Yeah, no, the gem section of the shop, there isn't a good way to put gem-based feats in there. Because a lot of them are named the same, but they're specific for champions, so... You get mediums from event name chests? Yeah. Yeah. That's why I said, I mean, this event, working through this event, I just want to start saving up towards that now, and I'm keeping my eye out for 10 medium bounties. I could get some from the event. Man, I can't believe we got that feat. Like on a new player account, that is the feat. See, so here's the thing. This is what it does. You can't tell. It's a 10% chance to trigger Virulent Strain naturally. And when we add Venomous Touch, which is a default feat that you get, it boosts it by 50%, so it makes it 15% chance, right? 50% of 10, 5%, so 15. And then you add increased toxicity, and that doubles it to 30%. So basically a 1 in 3 chance to trigger Virulent Strain. Virulent Strain is what makes Krull OP. Just incredible luck. Yeah, it took me a year to get that feat. Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy. Makos has now got his first blue, or first epic. He was full blue before, and now he's got his first epic. What did? Oh, oops! I forgot to put Shandy back in. You want to save that? Wow! Wow! So now we've got everything we need to earn ridiculous favor. Ridiculous favor. Because we've got a 40 stat potential 40 stat Krull and I've got a Zaka. That's it. That's the combo. I mean, you'd want a lot of other gold find along with it, but there's the big combo: a Zaka and a Krull that can 40 stack. And I know how to manipulate a 40 stack, so on this account, ridiculous. Ridiculous. If I don't spend a lot, will Corn Evergreen champions always be better than event champions? Considering that their item levels and items will keep improving all year, will it only improve during event? No, Althris, because event champions improve outside of events by you putting blacksmithing contracts on. That's what those are for. You don't put those on Corn Evergreens. Corn Evergreens will passively gain item levels based off you opening regular silver and gold chests. But you can target the champions that you want to boost the item levels of with blacksmithing contracts. I have a blacksmithing contracts 101 guide on subreddit as well. Dresden, is it worth it to buy 50k Sword Morphosis feats for absolute adversaries, or gold chests are still better? It depends on how quickly you're earning gems. If you can earn 50,000 gems in a few days, maybe a week. I have a trouble waiting a week. But in a week, maybe at the outskirts. But if you're waiting multiple weeks, no. God, no. Buy gold chests. Buy gold chests. At some point, you are going to get to the point where you can earn gems so fast that 50,000 is like, oh, I earned that today. Yeah. And that's usually when you're looking at 50k feats. And even then, you're looking at speed feats before damage feats. So, like right now, I know I can earn 12,500 gems in a week, within a week's time, like less than a week. So I'm willing to save up for that Human feat. Otherwise, I would not be doing it. Otherwise, I'd just be buying gold chests. And even then, it's painful because I know if I bought gold chests, I might be getting speed potions, which would help me go through this faster. Yeah, I knew Electrums had tinies. I wasn't sure if they had the higher rarities for the bounties, though. Or for, yeah. I didn't realize, yeah, I didn't think they had the higher rarity bounties. But, okay. I can't get the event champions blues to epics, though. I mean, you're in the same boat I am there. What you talking about? What's the question? Raising animals alone enough to make them compare to core evergreens? No, you have to. Oh, you're talking how do you get your champions to epic? That's a whole different thing because you didn't. That was not what you asked in the other question. That was not what you asked in the other question. If you want full epic is a long term goal. Full epic on your event champions is a long term goal, and the way you get there is a combination of if they show up in events, doing a time gate for them, which is low priority early on because the higher priority is doing time gates for champions you don't own, and then opening patron chests. And usually, make your own judgment call here, but usually you don't want to open patron chests until your core and evergreens are full epic first. Because then you don't run the risk of that expensive patron currency getting spent on a core champion getting an epic, which you could have gotten with gems anyway. So no, like, no, you're gonna if you play the whole game and don't get narrowly focused on one aspect, all of your champions are gonna start getting better gear. And those item levels that are landing on the core and evergreens, look, those champions are good to start off with. The only one that scales into the late game is Ashara. Currently. So, you know, it's the others are going to be, you're going to get a lot out of the others over time. But you have to play the whole game, and you have to take an approach to it that is like you're looking at this in long term, because you don't race through this game. I mean, I'm not even rushing. I'm just trying to play through the early game in a way that makes sense to me, and see how the early game has changed for players with the changes to the game. I thought that this collections and guide quest thing was going to be the big change to how you move through the early game, and it changes nothing. It changes absolutely nothing. What changed is Events 2.0. Events 2.0 changed the progression through the game, through the early game, massively. Massively. But at, like, I'm using some of these, event champions, and they've got multiple epics in some cases only one, in some cases none. They're doing their job better than my core and evergreens are. When I'm pushing, I'm taking those core and evergreens out, and I'm putting the event champions in with their mix-matched gear. Speaking of feats for speed champions, do feats which increase the effect of Whittle's Hurry Up Now increase the chance of it triggering? Not unless it says that? So, does it say that? It does, no. It says the effect of it. It doesn't say the chance to trigger. They'll make two. It would be a totally separate feat for a chance to trigger. They call this out in some other champions. That's why I know. So you're upping the effect of it, not the chance to trigger of it. Well, hold on. But it doesn't have a buff associated to it. Now I'm confused. So it would only be affecting the chance to trigger because there's no buff with that ability. That's weird. Oh, I bet they didn't. I'd have to check it on my main account. The only thing it could be boosting is the chance to trigger. But that's not, I'll be honest, I don't care. This is probably why I don't even have that listed. I care more about the speed and the pushing feats than I care about hurry up now. But let me, where are we at? Well, we're almost done here. Let me pull up my main account. It is oddly worded. Normally they word them separately and it would say chance to trigger is increase it by X. And then the other is the effect is the buff. But hurry up now doesn't have a buff. This is where the CNE stands for consistency not expected. Because it's just not there. It's just not there. Still use Ray and Tyrell on my main. I use Tyrell for so long, and occasionally I still break Tyrell out because once you get his ultimate cooldown capped, he can keep his shield up constantly, and he becomes a super strong tank. So I will say he kind of scales fairly well into the late game. But nowadays there's more options for tanking. But Ashara still becomes a pretty strong. Is a really strong DPS who's also multi-hit, and that's getting a strong multi-hit champion's a big deal. Okay, we finished our first adventure. Now we're on to Tower on the Lake. Also 200 areas. Also 200 areas. Quick damage. Speed boost. Gold find. Another super gamer. How do you build orange equipment? So the orange border it signifies a legendary effect. It isn't actually a rarity. It's confusing. You add legendary effects via the legendary forge, where you use scales of Tiamat to forge a legendary effect onto gear, and you get those scales from the Trials of Mount Tiamat, which is again, I think it's the mid-game system, mid through end. But you dip into it in the mid-game. It's after completing the storyline in Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus. Right, 26-22. All right. Okay, hold on. I got Whittle up over here. I just need to turn the auto progress on. All right, so hurry up now. 25% chance. Let me pull out couple feats. Yeah. So if I add the 40% hurry up now, the chance to trigger goes from 25% to 35%. So that it's boosting that. Yeah, I've never even bought in the 80% one because I just never use. I never use that. I usually want Vampiric Gaze and Tasty Friends just for speed. That's usually all I'm doing. It's usually all I'm doing with Whittle. Because if I want her to reset attack for some shenanigans, reset people's attacks, I'll bring Alindra in and I'll do a little boost. So whether or not when you can use blacksmith contracts at any time to put item levels on a champion, and it doesn't matter that you can put item levels on it white. It carries over through all increases. It carries over through all increases, and they're contracts, not scrolls. This is important because scrolls exist in the game, and scrolls are specifically these boosts for Trials of Mount Tiamat. But so when you look at an item slot, you need to think about an item slot. This is slot 1. Slot 1 can contain rarities of items. Slot 1 can contain item levels. Slot 1 can contain gilding, meaning it could be normal, shiny, or golden. And slot 1 can contain a legendary effect, and slot 1 can contain pigments. These are all applied to the slot.